I apologize for the truly atrocious lighting. It is one of the rare rainy days that we get in Southern California, and I'm doing my best to balance it with technology, but it's not going so great. Welcome back, gentlefolk and rapscallions of all persuasions. Some of you might remember the first YouTube video I made almost 2 years ago now, where I lamented some of the details of Yumi, namely my confusion over some of the elements included in the book. But not for nothing was I on a Dragonsteel Nexus panel titled There's Always Another Secret, and so I have a new theory about one of the aspects that bothered me the most. Why did Virtuosity splinter herself? This video will contain spoilers for Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, Tress of the Emerald Sea, and all existing books of the Stormlight Archive, so let's get to it in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. As I was listening to Tress again, I had a moment to consider the Iriali and their pilgrimage through the Cosmere, with a side note made that they had already departed from Lumar. Most of humanity came to Roshar from Ashen, but the Iriali were from somewhere else, following the Long Trail, of which Roshar is the 4th land, and when they reach the 7th land, they will be reunited into the One. In Words of Radiance, a cobbler gives a pair of shoes to an orphan in exchange for a story, and when questioned why he's doing that, says the following. "Because," Yim said, "you and I are one." "One what?" "One being," Yim said. He set aside that shoe and got out another. "Long ago, there was only one. One knew everything, but had experienced nothing. And so, one became many. Us. People. The one, who is both male and female, did so to experience all things." This on its own doesn't mean much, and at the time Words of Radiance came out, over a decade ago at this point, the big one into many idea that we had in the Cosmere was the shattering of Ada Nauseam. But now I'm thinking it's something else. Let's revisit Yumi for a moment. It is the vaporwave isekai novel of the Cosmere, and the primary power comes from paired Heion lines. If you've ever had to change the toner in your office printer, you know that it comes in 4 colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. The Heion lines are cyan and magenta, and the shroud is black. But where's the yellow? Could it perhaps be divinely represented in the metallic golden hair of the Iriali? Let's take a look at this quote from Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. "Only the light of the star shone through the shroud. To this day, I'm not 100% certain why. But this was close to where Virtuosity splintered herself, and I suspect that had an effect." And I just sat there and went, splintered herself? I've been ruminating on this because I don't know what to do with the information that a shard splintered herself. I don't know what would motivate a shard to do that. So what happened to Virtuosity? I want to know what happened. What happened that made Virtuosity splinter herself? Why? While I was having an existential crisis over why Virtuosity would splinter herself, I missed another quote from Design, who, by the way, is my favorite character, and saying of the stone stacking, "It's the mixing of math and art," Design said, "plus the human aspect, the concentration, the satisfaction, the emotion. This entire region is littered with splinters that Virtuosity left behind. Regardless, it seems that, yay, I can answer you. Yes, I'm absolutely a spirit. Basically the same thing." From this, it seems like maybe there's a lot of Virtuosity's power left over on Kamashi. However, I'm thinking that this is a combination of what Honor and Cultivation did when they created the sentient Spren, and what Preservation and Ruin did when they gave some of their power up to create the humans on Scadrial, and less like what happened when Devotion, Dominion, and Ambition were splintered. So you have a place on the world, or nearby the world, where Virtuosity splintered herself, and a religion practiced on another world where they believe that the One split itself to experience all of creation. Allow me to point you toward a very specific passage from Day 4 of Wind and Truth when Navani is inside the visions. "Me?" the faceless wit said. "Oh, I'm fine. Just a big mess of existential crisis. Me, who is not me, knowing that I'll puff away back to nothing the moment this vision ends. It's fun, like realizing you swallowed poison by accident." "I'm sorry," she said. "It's fine," he said. I'm not real, so my emotions don't matter. My pain is an illusion, and I'm a puppet for raw investiture, propped up and speaking like the sock on a child's hand. He cocked his head. Damn, is this how the Iriali feel all the time? No wonder they're so storming odd. I have to guess at this point, Hoid's consciousness is so connected, capital C, to the spiritual realm by virtue of the fact that he has picked up several different magic systems from across the Cosmere, that a temporarily unmoored representation of him is self-aware enough to know that he isn't real. He then alludes to the fact that the Iriali are less human than they are investiture, and this tracks with disparate pieces of one being that is gathering experiences through the Cosmere, and after going through 7 lands, will be reformed. This is interesting because 7 is not typically a powerful number in the Cosmere, and I want to know why. Also, it's important to note that virtuosity doesn't mean virtue. It refers to being a virtuoso, someone with great talent, especially artistic talent. Before Virtuosity splintered herself on or near Komashi, she traveled the Cosmere and never settled anywhere for long, both of which point to a propensity for wanderlust and a desire for experience. So let me know down in the comments if you think Virtuosity is also the one, and I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely apologize to every English teacher I ever had for half-assing the essays I turned in, because I know you could tell, and because writing 3 to 5 page literary essays is apparently what I do for fun on Friday nights in my 30s. And then I film myself and put them on the internet. So do all those delicious things that feed the almighty algorithm, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.